Hi everyone, it's Sarah or Lovely Day here, and I have a box to open today. In this box is an April Story Diana. She's on the AS13 girl body, and I'm really excited to open her. It was kind of a spur of the moment purchase, and I wouldn't have known that she was even up for sale if it wasn't for Aurelia or Kate, who's also here on YouTube. As soon as I saw her for sale though, I thought that she could potentially work as a body for one of my jewelries, although the head itself is really pretty as well, so I'm not too sure what I'll do, but I managed to get her for a really good price, 300 NZ dollars including shipping. It did say that she's slightly yellowed, although it's even, and to be honest that almost made me want to buy her more. Both of my jewelry heads are quite old and they are yellowed, so hopefully that will work in my favour. She's in the standard black April Story box. I got the same sort of thing when I got Lee, so I kind of expected this much. Just a little note from the previous owner saying, I hope you enjoy her, and I'm sure I will. Thank you again for letting me buy her from you. Just like Lee as well, the smell of resin is strong. Oh my gosh. Her head is in here, yeah. On the listing they said they'd done a face up on her before, and they warned me that there is slight remnants of that on her, but that would be easily removed or covered if I was to do another face up on her. She does come with two COAs, there's one for her head and one for her body, which could really come in handy if I end up using her for one of my jewelries. Oh my gosh, she is so pretty. Now this body doesn't have any joints under the bust or at the waist, but she does have double jointed elbows. They're exactly the same as how Lee's are, and I think her knees are the same too. She is quite a lot shorter than my other SDs, but she's definitely SD scale. Oh my gosh, okay, her hook's coming out. Oh gosh, okay. Okay, I'm not going to touch that yet because I don't think I can get it out without gouging out her neck, which is a bit of a pain, but just means I'll have to restring her right off the bat. She does seem to have the same really odd leg situation as Lee. Her legs are quite floppy. I do like this body though. It's definitely less mature. I mean, it's one of their kid bodies, so that's to be expected. I do want to at least try and put her head on, so I think I'm gonna have to take that out. It did leave a little bit of a mark in her neck, but kind of can't be avoided. That was really the only way I could have done that. That does mean her whole torso will probably come loose now. I'm going to learn how this works a lot sooner than I thought, but now that that's off, I can at the very least show you guys what the head looks like on the body. She's so cute. Oh my gosh. And it's a bit of a balancing act, but I do have my jewelry head here too, and I think it could work. It's really hard to tell without it sitting there properly, but as far as the fit on the neck, it's really nice. The resin match isn't quite as good as it could be, whereas the April Story body is more of a light yellowy tinted colour. This head is definitely a peach by comparison, but I'm sure I could make it work with blushing for the face up. But yeah, I think this could definitely work. And since I've got her here, I figured I'd put this one on too. I don't think I like this as much. The head looks kind of small somehow. In saying that though, honestly, the head it actually comes with is quite small on it anyway. So yeah, I'm sure they'd look better with a wig and clothes and all that. Anyway, before I pull this apart to get that head back on properly, I figured I'd go through and tell you my first impressions of this body. For starters, the feet are pretty standard. I don't normally have too much to say about the feet, to be real. The mobility is not much, but it never really is, to be fair. I do think this is a body that would benefit a lot from sueding. I said the same thing about Lee's body, and I'm yet to have done anything about it. The sculpting on the legs I do think is really nice. This whole body in general is a lot chunkier. There's still some nice sculpting and details there. Her knees are the exact same as Lee's, so one click is really easy to do. You kind of have to pull them to engage them. The second click is a bit more difficult, and I am going to put her down just because I did loosen that hook in her neck. But what you have to do is you have to pull this part out and then kind of sit it down on top. And then she does bend it gracefully like that, and she holds that pretty well considering her elastic is slowly loosening from the neck down. One thing I am noticing is that she does have some seam lines. It's not something that bothers me too much, honestly, but it's worth pointing out in case you might be. Because she doesn't have any joints on her torso, the sculpting is beautiful and it lets them have a lot more detail in here without losing it to joints for functionality. You can slightly see her ribcage here, which I think is really sweet, and her belly button and hips and all that are really cute too. The elbows are also double jointed. Similar to the legs, you can do one click really easily, but in order to do the next one, you need to pull out the joint. But that's what it looks like. She can touch her face quite easily. Yeah, good mobility in there. I do really like her hands. The sculpting is really nicely done, and I like how her pinky is separate from the rest of her fingers. They look really relaxed and cute, and the nails are really nicely sculpted too, so I reckon I could give her a really nice manicure. And of course, I can't forget her head. Her nose is really cute, and I do like her lips. She's got a little bit of an open mouth expression, so I will probably have to paint some teeth if I do ever get around to doing her face up. I am sorry I can't show you her all put together properly with her head. As much as I would love to restring her right now, I really don't have the time or energy to do it on camera. But I'll do it as soon as I'm able to, and I'm sure you'll see her in her full glory in my next video. This is future editing Sarah here, and I just wanted to pipe in and show you this girl here. So I managed to sort out her head. I restring her. It was quite an ordeal in the end. It took quite a bit of trial and error. Initially I did string her legs normally, and by that I mean the elastic loops that went down went straight into her legs rather than crossing over and going into the opposite legs, and it didn't work. Turns out the channels in her legs are a bit different, and it means that there's only one direction for the elastic to go. I'll try and show you here now. So in a normal doll, ow, she pinched me. In a normal doll, the channels for the elastic go here. It's kind of hard to see, but they go in the front so that when the leg goes up, the elastic can go into that channel and the leg bends. On this doll, the elastic channel is in the side here. So all that happened when I made the elastic go straight down into the leg below it was her legs splayed out like this. When I tried to sit her, she was a frog. It was kind of hilarious but frustrating at the same time. So I ended up having to restring her, just her legs at least, so it wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, that means it's going to be the same for Lee with his legs. Restringing them differently won't really solve the problem because I can't think of any other way to string them other than this way. Yeah, I'll sway her at some point and I'm sure that will help me. But how I ended up fixing her head on was using a foam piece. I cut out a little ring from a foam mat and it's working really well to hold her head on. It's soft, so I don't need to worry about it marking or damaging the resin, and it's thick enough that I don't need to worry about the hook sliding through. I think it's quite a good solution, at least for now. I'm also really impressed by how well the head fits onto the neck. I really think it fits better than the original April Story head does, which is funny since I had the same thoughts about Lee's original head. You'll probably notice too that I found some really cheap eyes to put in her. These are just the ones that I got with Millie, and they're the only ones that fit her. There's one other thing that I forgot to talk about during filming, and that was announcing the winner of the Mirror Book Pro. So I'm going to do the draw right now. Here I have all of the entries. I didn't end up counting how many there were, but it ended up being quite a few, especially considering the weird thing that happened with the original upload of that video with it disappearing and all. But I did include all of the entries, even those that I had from the first upload. Anyway though, without further ado, I'm going to draw a name from this bowl. I have in my hand the winning entry, and the winner is My Family Toy Reviews. I will be contacting you shortly. I'm not sure how actually. Maybe if you could comment on this video, and yeah, I'll work on getting you your prize. But that's all editing Sarah has to say, so I'll let you guys get back to the video. When I try and get her to stand, she seems to want to do that same weird twisting thing that Lee always does. And I do think it comes down to how the legs are strung. I'm yet to really figure it out. Yeah, it's also possible that it's to do with the fact that her elastic has come out of her head and it's currently sitting in her neck, which is the only reason she hasn't completely fallen apart, also because the legs are kind of knotted and I'm assuming the arms are done separately. But yeah, all that aside, she does stand, but she does also want to twist. Another thing that I probably should have prefaced this video with, April Story recently shut down their English website, and people who have placed orders recently haven't had the most luck in receiving them. So I would definitely advise not dealing with April Story. So unfortunately, if you want one of these dolls, the only way to really go about it will be to buy second hand. I honestly wouldn't risk going through the store, even though you could technically go through their Korean website. I really just don't think it's worth the risk. From the few Facebook posts and stuff that I've seen around, a lot of people are waiting on dolls and have not received dolls, and no one's really sure exactly what's going on. Although when I went on April Story's site, there was a post about someone there having been in an accident recently, which could definitely have impacted on it, so I don't know what's going on. There was one person I saw who had been waiting for well over a year, so I have a feeling that's not connected to the accident, but I could be wrong and I don't really want to speculate. But it's better to be safe than sorry. I really do love this torso though. I was a bit unsure what I would think about it since it doesn't have that joint under the bust. I can't really explain it, she just looks really beautiful. Thank you so much, Kate, for letting me know she was for sale. I know you were really happy that I was able to buy her. It wouldn't have happened without you, so really thank you. I can't wait to do more with this girl. Gosh though, I do really like this head on the body. And I mean, the colour match isn't the worst in the world. I'll have to wait and see how it shows up on camera, but I've definitely seen worse, that's for sure. And the fact that this head is blank, it can definitely be fixed. Anyway, that's really all I have to say. I'm sure I've missed something, so if you have any questions about this body or the head, do let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer your questions. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I'd love it if you joined me here. I upload a new video every weekend on Sundays. Thank you so much for watching. It has been lovely, and I'll catch you in another video sometime soon.